92.3 WTTS. Good morning, Matt Pelser, and happy Friday. You know, it's going to be a great weekend. Lots to choose from on what to do. And Saturday night, I don't know, maybe think about, have you seen any live comedy in a while? Because there's a great show coming to Shelton Auditorium on Saturday night. Comedian Ziggy Klett. And Ziggy happens to be right here right now. How you doing, mon frere?
Doing great.
Yeah?
Thanks for having me in, Matt.
Did you have any trouble getting here?
I want to set up a Zoom call with the guy who came up with these roundabouts. I mean, I knew
the roundabout thing, man.
Yeah, I knew Indy was the motor racing capital of the world. I just didn't know it was on 116th Street.
Well, you can't handle I think the roundabout is brilliant, personally.
Tell me why.
I love it because there are so many problematic four-way stops in town where it's like people don't know how to, who's going. Are you going? Am I going? With the roundabout, it just keeps things going, man.
Right.
I totally get it. I am a Kool-Aid drinker for the roundabouts.
Okay, that's cool. I'll get the hang of it, but I admit there were a lot of people who weren't too happy with my roundabout performance this morning.
Well, you'll get the hang of it too if you hang around long enough. So what do you got anything on the state of the world right now?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I thought it was very ironic that Ozzy Osbourne is leaving America because it's too violent. This is a guy who wrote a song called Suicide Solution and Slaughter in Paradise. He's going to the UK because it's too violent here. Also because the California taxes are too high. I looked it up. The highest marginal tax rate in the UK is 72%. That's like saying I want to go to Arizona to sit in the shade. So,
well, so Shelton, you can fit 400 people in there.
Yeah.
We've been giving away a few tickets online. I don't know if there's still any left in the VIP room at WTTSFM.com, but I mean, gosh, you've been doing this a good while now, right?
I started doing stand-up in 2006. I learned to do stand-up basically in bars in Ohio and Indiana. And it was essentially set up. I would arrive and say, "Where's the microphone?"
Yeah.
Well, we don't have one of those.
Oh, they didn't even have a mic.
Yeah. Where's the stage? Well, we don't really have one of those. Well, where are the lights? And the guy would look at me and go, "You're not getting the hang of this just yet today, are you?"
You've paid your dues then.
I have.
So anyone who just walks into Shelton on Saturday night having never heard of you, they're going to have a good time.
They're going to have a great time. I'm a cancer recovery guy. I talk about that.
Really?
Yeah, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. In March of 2019.
Really?
Yeah, I went through 29 rounds of chemo, 3 life-saving surgeries. Yeah. The doctor told me the first day, her voice was barely audible. She says, "The lab results are back. The tests are positive. You've got cancer. Have a nice day."
That was it? Good grief.
I found out I had stage 4, and I said, "Well, how many stages are there?" And she looked at me like, 4. So you don't really want to know what the next stage is. But I went through all that and got great treatment, and I beat it.
Man, when you got that news, how much did that change your whole perspective on things? I mean, look, you're a comedian. We can keep it lighthearted, but
yeah.
I feel like getting that kind of news and then coming out of it the way that you have,
right?
That's got to change your whole worldview, right?
Yeah, it does. I mean, my first thought was talking about taking a lighthearted approach. I said, really, stage 4, I better get a lot funnier a lot faster. I went through 29 rounds of chemo, 3 surgeries, and the big choice is, do you do chemo first or surgery first then chemo?
Mm-hmm.
I got the chemo first, which I called the slather and slice strategy. And
it's one way to do it.
And, it is life-changing, obviously, and I'll lapse into a cliche just for a second. One day at a time, listen to your doctors, pray like crazy, pray for acceptance, and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's behind you.
I beat it.
Good for
I
you.
beat it. Before I went into my 3rd life-saving surgery, which was 7 hours, right?
Wow.
I mean, I might not come out of this. The doctor says, "Mr. Klett, do you have any questions?" I'm like, "Really? what questions am I possibly going to ask at this point? Like, you're going to use a really sharp knife, right?
Where's the FAQ?
Yeah.
What should I be asking?
Yeah, and you're just going to cut out my tumors. Like, you're not going to cut off my foot or anything because I don't want to end up on 60 Minutes. So, but my doctor's was great. And the entire show was run by a Canadian conspiracy nut chemo nurse named Jennifer. And my only advice to everybody who's going through this battle, I'm praying for you, and just realize the nurses run the show.
They absolutely do, don't they?
And when the nurse tells the surgeon to sit down, they don't even look for a chair. Just boom, right down.
Yes, ma'am. Whatever you say. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it was crazy.
People rarely come back from stage 4, man.
Rarely, but they didn't know who they were dealing with.
And thank goodness for it.
I said, listen, I got too many funny things to say, too many cool venues to go. It's not taking me down. It's not time.
Ziggy Klett, Shelton Auditorium on the campus of Butler University tomorrow night. Man, thanks for coming in. This is fun.
Oh, it's great. Thank you.